In today's lesson, we are going to discuss what is electromotive force or EMF and what is terminal potential difference and the relation between the two. That is the relation between EMF and terminal potential difference, which is generally denoted by VAB, where AB are the two terminals of the battery. Now, suppose we take a simple circuit. We have a conductor and this is connected to a cell. Now, you know that current will flow through this. Let's say this has a certain amount of resistance, so this is not really a short circuit. Now, current will flow through this. So, current will flow from the positive end to the negative side, because this is the positive end of the conductor and this is the negative side of the conductor, which is at a lower potential. So, current flows from high potential to low potential. But if you just follow the current, then you can see that when you move through the cell, current is flowing in this direction. The charges are moving from a lower potential to a higher potential. Now, what makes the charge move from a negative potential to a positive potential, which means from low electric potential energy region to high electric potential region? This is the EMF of the cell, and this is exactly what we are going to talk about in this lesson today. You might be wondering, why have I drawn this decorative fountain over here? See, actually when we are going to talk about EMF, we've taken a mechanical analog. Now, see, water flows down from the top of this fountain. We have water flowing in this direction. You have a reservoir at the bottom and water gets collected over here. But you need to pump the water back, so there has to be a motor. You have to have a motor that pumps the water back from the reservoir to the top of the fountain, so that it can again fall back to a lower level. So there has to be some kind of a motor or a pump in the circuit. Now, this is exactly what the cell does in this case. See, the pump over here is increasing the potential energy of the water by lifting it to a height, which means that now the water is at a higher potential. This water then loses its potential energy as it falls down to the lower level over here. Now, in this cycle which takes place over here, we have a motor, we have a pump which is using electrical energy, which means energy is expended. Energy is expended or spent or used. So you have a source which is providing energy to the water and lifting it to a height. Now, similarly in our circuit over here, this cell transfers energy to the charges and moves them from a low potential to a high potential. And this energy is provided by the cell by the chemical reactions that take place inside the cell. And this energy is then made available to the charges, so that the charges can move from a high potential to a low potential. Just as water can flow from a higher level to a lower level, since energy has been made available to it, similarly these charges have more energy at this end and they can move from a high potential region to a low potential region. During this process, the cell gets used up. The energy of the cell is getting used up. This gets expended. This is used up, just as the motor uses up energy over here. Similarly, the cell uses up energy over here. So now we can define the EMF. The EMF is that influence which makes the current flow from a lower potential to a higher potential. Dimensionally, it is energy per unit charge. So its SI unit is joule per coulomb, which is volt. So EMF is given in volts. Like the cell has an EMF of, let's say, 1.5 volt or 3 volt. Now, the word EMF is a little misleading because this is not a force. The EMF is not a force, but it describes the source that provides energy to the charges. Now, an EMF of 3 volts would provide double the energy to 1 coulomb of charge that passes through it as compared to an EMF of 1.5 volt. You can have a couple of sources of EMF. It could be a battery, it could be a solar cell, because the sun's energy is being used to provide energy to the charges. It could be a thermocouple, where the difference in temperature is being used to provide energy to the charges. It can be an electrical generator, where electrical energy is being used to provide energy to the charges. So in each of these cases, the EMF is a source that provides energy to the charges. Now, let's look at what is an ideal source of EMF and what is a real source of EMF. See, an ideal source of EMF would be one which would give you a potential difference. Like if you measure the potential difference across the cell, you would get a potential difference of equal to the EMF of the cell. So if the EMF is 1.5 volts, and if you use a voltmeter, if you connect a voltmeter over here, then you would get a reading of 1.5 volts. But a real source of EMF is one which also has a certain resistance. There is a resistance when the charges move through the material of this cell. Due to that resistance, which is called an internal resistance, there is a certain voltage drop. There is certain amount of loss of energy due to this resistance R, which is called the internal resistance. For instance, if let's say the cell is providing an energy of 1.5 joules to the charges which are to a charge of 1 coulomb which passes through it. Now, in case of an ideal source, the full energy of 1.5 joules would be made available to a charge of 1 coulomb. But in case of a real source, you would not get 1.5 joules, you would get say about 1.46 joules, because the remaining, which is 0.04 joules, is energy which has been lost, which is not available, which has been dissipated due to the internal resistance of the cell when the charges are moving inside the cell. Now the voltage drop across the terminals of the cell, V, can be written as E minus IR, where E is the EMF and IR is the voltage drop due to the internal resistance R of the circuit. Now, in case of an open circuit, you would have the current equal to 0. An open circuit means current is not flowing through the circuit. So in that case, the voltage across the two ends of the terminal will be the EMF of the cell, and this is actually what you measure with the potentiometer, because in case of a potentiometer, it is adjusted in such a way that the current drawn from the cell is 0 at balance point. So what you are measuring is the EMF of the cell. In that case, the potential difference across the terminals is equal to the EMF of the cell. Now, when you are solving questions, at times you get a little confused that what you do about the internal resistance. So all you need to do is you draw the circuit, you draw a cell, draw a resistance in series with it, and you have the external resistance, and let's say that is R, and the EMF of the cell is E. Now you use the EMF E, the resistance R, as any other resistance in the circuit. So you don't have to bother whether it is an internal resistance or an external resistance which has been connected, and just take the total resistance in the circuit. In this particular case, it is R plus R, since the two are in series, and suppose you have to find the current through this circuit, then current would be the EMF E over R plus R. Now, if you are asked for the terminal potential difference across this battery, in that case, you need to calculate, once you know the value of I, then you can find out VAB using the value of E, I that you have calculated, and the given value of R.